Okay, I haven't done just like a regular kind of chill stream from the confines of my home. Usually, I've been getting way too comfortable with going live from my phone and living and driving, which, if we've learned anything from the mighty wise jackass Jack Doherty, it's probably not the wisest move, but I've had a lot of time to think recently, and aside from going down many rabbit holes on this very fascinating platform that is YouTube, which I still haven't made up my mind about. Is it pro free speech? Is it more trying to remain family friendly? I find myself reminiscing about old school YouTube when you would like the casual video would be just a random vlog, and I guess that's the style that I think I'm just gonna always stay committed to unless I one day really upgrade everything I have, full HD and get whatever editing software. Oh, pardon, I am getting some Discord messages. I'm trying to get used to having Discord again. Not something I'm fully comfortable with. But yeah, I've had a lot of time to think since I don't know, the job change. Not that there's been a lack of hours, as I put in more than a full time full time's worth, averaging about 40 to 50, 60 if I wanted. But I guess in general, I've thought about like the many misadventures that have taken place here on YouTube for me and my own experience, the people I've met, and there has been some people from the past. I mean, it's really just a couple of years ago, but I don't know, everything seems so far away or so close, depending on how you look at it, when you're getting older. And I am not quite at peace with the age that I am, but such is life. I was going into that rant for a good reason, but if forget me if I'm going to remember that right now. I'm right now at this very moment. I want to focus on a singular topic before I segue into a full blown rant, which is this one topic that spilled over that might be relevant. Or hell yeah, there's no might about it. I don't know if anybody's been following. It's pretty unavoidable, especially if you just walk by anything that's playing a mainstream anything news. And I was watching a alleged live today about the UFOs. Are UFOs now known as UAPs? I don't even know what UAP means. Unidentified alien person. I have no idea. And I want to also just echo the fact that this is going to be, as much as possible, the most relaxed I can try to be. Because normally when I'm live, I feel like I have to rant and can't have a moment of silence or think, which is probably what has gotten me in trouble in the past. But I figured, well, I found this little snippet. I was watching this live bit where the Pentagon came forward about 21 cases about UFOs that they just cannot explain away. I was confused as to who was asking the questions and who was frustrated. There were scientists trying to explain these phenomenons, and then we have the elected officials asking questions, and I saw nothing really get accomplished. Just, I don't know, you can just consider it verbal diarrhea, because I don't know that it got down to anything except that we don't really know much more other than we can't explain what this is. And this is going to be my first fresh take. Let me make sure, since I'm so rusty with this. It's probably clear. I right now I'm not focusing on the toxic characters that utilize all these platforms. Six Erican, I hope he gets banned. That hasn't changed. He's gonna get in trouble on Twitch because he accidentally let his let a little something slip out that's not user family friendly, and I do believe his primary audience is kids. But let me see what this little compilation regarding the UFOs. Like the first comment 5 days ago, biggest story of all time, and no one is covering this. So that's the first place I decide to go. So let me see for the first time what this is all about. These 21 alleged sightings that cannot be explained.
Now from the Pentagon about unidentified flying objects. There were hundreds of new reported sightings over the last year, and some the government still can't explain. Chief Global Affairs Correspondent Martha Raddatz joins us with the details. It's quite the talker. Martha, good morning.
Good morning, Whit. It does. It all sounds straight out of...
I haven't checked his channel in it feels like a full year, but I wonder what Ryan Upchurch has been on about recently. And aside from that, yeah, I mean, I think this is an unavoidable thought to have. Okay, the election just took place. I got a favorable outcome. I think the American people got a W. I feel like we just won against a radicalized political ideology. It's the ideologies that scare me more so than some of the people. But let me not get all sidetracked here. So let me see, and then I have another link, or I'll just backtrack to the larger conversation about this.
Of a science fiction movie, but these unidentified airborne objects are taken very seriously by the Pentagon and the intelligence community. And this morning, their new report revealing that these sightings are on the rise. Navy pilots have seen them.
Like, the timing is crazy, right? Is it not? This is like the biggest news story, or it should be. So are they slipping in? When I say they, I don't know, powers that be, the elite, the mainstream, and those that control it, the puppeteers, I don't know, the 1%, whatever the theys are to you, they're not a bunch of pronouns to me. To me, they're a separate class that is completely untouched and disassociated from the regular working man and woman. So this is what they're slipping in while everybody's got their hysteria on full gear regarding the election results, which seems like a perfect time to talk about UFOs as a matter of fact.
Gosh. They're all going against the wind. The wind's 120 miles from the west.
More than 1,600 unidentified flying objects have been reviewed by the government's Anomaly Resolution Office, or ARROW, over the years. 98% of them eventually found to be debris, drones, or even large birds. But new numbers this morning from May of 2023 to June of 2024 show 757 new sightings, with 21 of them that cannot be explained. And all 21 mysterious objects were seen near national security sites, witnessed by multiple people, or captured on sensors or videos. While the Pentagon does not know what they were, they are quick to steer the public away from little green men.
To date, the department has discovered no verifiable evidence of extraterrestrial beings, activity, or technology.
But at a hearing this week, the former...
All right, so this is what I thought I was watching live. Now I see that was... No, that's correct. Wednesday? Or was this 5 days ago? Regardless, I was watching it, and the stamp below said live. This was the conversation I found myself peaked at here.
Head of the Pentagon program investigating these objects says nothing should be ruled out.
Has the government conducted secret UAP crash retrieval programs? Yes or no?
UAP.
Yes.
Were they designed to...
When did this term UAP come about, and why is it now the new moniker? I have done no research. I'm fresh reacting. I just watched a little bit of the live clip. What happened? It seems like so many things happen in the blink of an eye, and it's a big deal, but people just keep going about their mundane lives, or they're overwhelmed and they don't have time to pay attention.
To identify and reverse engineer alien craft? Yes or no?
Yes. Let me be clear. Advanced technologies not made by our government. Yes. Let me be clear.
Go back.
Says nothing should be ruled out.
Has the government conducted secret UAP crash retrieval programs? Yes or no?
Yes.
Were they designed to identify and reverse engineer alien craft? Yes or no?
Yes. Let me be clear.
We've known since the 70s and 80s that there was attempts or stories, very credible stories. Bob Lazar's name comes to mind about people that were scientists that were taken into the government sector, given a certain clearance, and trying to figure out reverse polarity, literally getting things to hover or float. I wish I could, in this moment, I've shared it in the far past of this YouTube channel, but I wish I could pull that up right now. So for them to just acknowledge it so passingly, they make it sound like they've only just recently started studying any sort of phenomenon like this. This has been in our crosshairs for, I don't know, I'm sure over a century.
Advanced technologies not made by our government or any other government are monitoring sensitive military installations.
So Pentagon Man just clarified that there is, what's up Shamrock, what's up White Dragon, please clarify that you can see footage. I'm so rusty that I'm worried, and I'm gonna full screen while I kind of sneakily get to another video. It's good to see you guys. I wanted to take a different approach because I've been going live and getting very accustomed to going live and just going through doing it on the phone. I don't know why I like feel anxiety when I think about sitting in this chair. It's stupid.
So if I ever need to...
So I'm getting over it. All right. And I just wanted to do a relaxed, chill stream. I'm not attacking any toxic people. I have no crusade. I just missed a lot of you, to be honest. Like, that's the honest truth. And I want to put one thing out there to somebody that has tried to reach me, and perhaps I've been unfair. Perhaps I was too judgmental, or I allowed my emotions from our collective past just, blind me when we had this whole thing with sides. Lilith, Morningstar, I don't think you did anything so wrong that everybody was able to blame you for whatever drama happened between all of us when we were collaborating. If you hear this, just know, like, you're more than welcome with open arms. I have no malice in my heart. So here's this. Have you guys seen any of this, by the way, this particular stream? This is the one that I was watching earlier in the day. And there's
allowed theories over the decades to foster. When the American people and members of Congress ask, are reports of UAPs credible, we're met with stonewalling.
Please let me know what UAP is in the chat if you want to. Otherwise, I'll just do a search. I'm going to set this down, take a little sip of water.
We're met with responses of, I can't tell you. And in fact, we're met with people not wanting us to have hearings. We're met with people not wanting us to ask you questions. In fact,
okay, when he refers to people wanting to stifle the discussion, I wish as an elected official, he would feel emboldened enough for his constituency to name names, or is it just that obvious? 3-letter agencies and whatnot. This is still just been on a loop, I think, all day. So this is being viewed all day by a good amount of people on various channels. I hope that means people are paying attention and not just getting so submerged with the oversaturation of what our culture has become, clickbait thumbnails and like short attention span made for quick consumption content. I really have become disenfranchised, kind of disgusted. I find myself relating to I'm going to get this name so wrong, Dostoevsky. Anyway, let me peek back, by the way. Unidentified anomalous phenomenon. Anomalous. What? Why was it necessary to change the term? Oh, and thank you. Somehow you just reminded me that I wasn't sharing the screen. What's up, Crystal? Oh my goodness. All right. So I'm going to reinvigor, trying to get in touch with everybody. I know I've been responding to some phone numbers that I've gotten wrong, and I just recently have gone about correcting them. There's so many people that I'm meeting that are doing things with YouTube, and just don't give up on me. And I'll get my act together. I can promise you a Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. Okay. But otherwise, and yes, there's definitely future collaborations with other YouTubers as I keep on. What's up, Stephen A? Oh my God, it's the man with the energy, the manic energy. So I don't know, when did the UFO thing get switched out? Is there a reason? Is there a strategic reason? Like, what's the whole meaning behind it? I assume things are done for a reason. What's the reasoning? Is the phrase changing the way we're viewing UFOs as we always have? What is it doing to our programming? Like, I don't understand the move here. There will never be disclosure. Where's the proof? Well, here's what we're getting as proof. It's essentially the Pentagon saying we are literally the cutoff from the last video I played was, yes, we have investigated technology not of this world. Boom. That's a bombshell right there. This is, I think, the first time the government has on record said, yes, we have in possession and are investigating actively technology not of this world. Now, me, I was raised to be a believer of aliens, okay, by my mother predominantly. And if I were to think to this day, I think that the universe is so grand and huge and infinite, it'd be impossible for life not to be somewhere else. So that's, I guess, where I stand. But the timing of it is what makes me think something's fishy about it, and the constant barrage of censorship for discussions about it to happen. But now they're squeezing it in while people are either over the wall about liberal tears or, which I am, trust me, or they're outraged and boycotting and leave. Go ahead, leave. Anyway, let's see. I'll be going back and forth. Matter of fact, I'll set up the chat on my phone. Let me make sure I'm sharing the screen this time because I'm rusty, guys. I'm rusty.
You may be seated. Please limit your oral statements to 5 minutes. As a reminder, please press the button in front of you so the microphone is turned on so that everyone in the room, members included, can hear you. When you begin to speak, the light in front of you will turn green. After 4 minutes, the light will turn yellow. When the red light comes on, your 5 minutes has expired, and we would ask that you please wrap it up. So I will first recognize Rear Admiral Gallaudet to please begin your opening remarks.
Thank you, Chairwoman.
Okay, so on the comment, like, there's a shared narrative right here between, I think, Steven and Shamrock. Like, okay, Steven's going about it's all a joke, and Shamrock's going like, every time the government doesn't want the public to focus on them, they roll out the aliens BS. I think there's legitimate credibility to that statement. I think it's, to me, I think it's almost a verifiable fact that the government has knowledge. I'm not going to go as far as involvement with UAP, UFOs, little green men, little gray men. Who knows? I don't know. Okay. But just why now? And it's not being treated as the large story. If it were that large, like, it's just kind of, I don't understand if there's a strategy, if this is all some grandiose plot. I just, I don't know. Is this a distraction? Are they hoping that it's a distraction from how angry the public is? Like the half of the country that didn't get what they wanted? I just, you got to ask the whys. And once we do, and you pry enough, what answer comes up in your own head? And I think it's easier to fall back on it's all a joke. Like, the media is a joke. And what is it exactly that's siphoning this information to us? Which I thought was old news, man. I thought UFOs, I personally, and I know there's people that disavow their existence, but I was raised, I'm an old man now, to just always kind of be that guy. Even as a child, I was debating parents of my friends at 7 years old saying, they're real. I remember my friend's mother, Debbie, I hate to burst your bubble, they're not. And I was like, okay, can you prove them? Prove that they don't exist? Probably not in that much words. Okay, all right, let's hear more while I read chat.
That the Theodore Roosevelt Strike Group was participating. This lack of follow-up was very concerning.
All right, Stephen, so specifically for you, brother. And yes, it is a stage. The world is a stage. Like, we're the ones that are playing along to keep it afloat by basically living till our last breath and paying those taxes. Be sure to pay those taxes, little Jimmy and Tommy. But this being presented as a stage, Stephen A., what I would want to ask you is, what are they distracting us from? What corruption? Like, we know our government is entirely corrupt. If anything, now I just came up with a theory. The fact that I think, didn't Russia just issue some pretty harsh terms recently before Trump is officially in office? Is it true or not? I'm going off of a vague memory here. I am not a reporter, and I'm not playing one on YouTube either. But I think I heard that Putin did literally threaten nuclear strikes if there was involvement. So there's a lot of confusion. So would this be a distraction from panic? And I really would be interested. They're distracting us from everything. Well, I mean, as broad as it is, that would make sense to me. Like, they don't want anybody to focus too much on any one thing, so they just throw something into the pile of stew, right? I just imagine, I don't know, the puppeteers, the theys, the three-letter agencies, that pretend to be in the greater service of the greater good. It's really just a self-sustaining machine that feeds itself and shoves cash in their own pockets and, I don't know, looks down on us. We're the ones that make the headlines mostly with our own inability to coexist. And they make the boldest and biggest of headlines, though, a la their Holly weird antics and their Epsteins and, well, all that good stuff. So I guess in theory, that right there, you could say almost everything's a distraction. But let me not downplay this. I am happy. I'm sure there's some new people from the gaming community since I've been remaining on a couple of other content creators that are immensely toxic and doing illegal things on these platforms that have no idea what my opinions are. And I'm not going to have people here not knowing what I really think or what I'm about, which might bring me to an area that I've always been intimidated and absolutely terrified to talk about because it's so divisive, which is going to be religion or spirituality or a lack thereof. But we're not there yet. I still want to hear a little bit more before I keep going through my diatribe, and thank you for the commentary. I really have missed this. We are okay, and now there you go, right there. You know what? I want to put this one up because I have maybe an irrational fear that things are starting to head in that direction, and I have maybe an unrealistic expectation that, like, it's got to be idiotic of me to really believe that when Trump steps into office officially, things are going to get smoothed over ultimately. I mean, he's wasting no time. I mean, I'm listening to the mainstream cry and cry and cry about what he hasn't even done yet, how they're going to implement the mass deportations, and I don't know what they're making up. My father, bless his heart, ironically, unironically, he listens to the mainstream. He's of that school. We guys collectively, we are changing the school of where we get the news, and nothing will ever be credible in the eyes of anybody you debate. We all have to find whatever the truth is via our own means, because everything that we get off of a mainstream outlet is bought and paid for, and somebody's pushing an agenda. So I guess throwing aliens out there, that reminds me of like the Independence Day story arc. It unites the world when you throw a bigger threat out there. That would be some high level chess. Very unoriginal.
Consequences of excessive secrecy and stovepiping. Nowhere was this more apparent than in the aftermath of 9/11, which many of us remember all too well.
Let me see what you got there, White Dragon. Hopefully we can afford something after the tariffs. Yeah, man. So are we going to be going back to like the tariffs that he implemented before the big vid struck? Like, we were just about to get our gains. Are we going to have to go through the whole like rigmarole again? I don't know. I'm curious. I guess naturally worried, like everybody should be. But as I look around at our fellow citizens, I just see a lot of misery. Maybe that's my own projection, and a lot of just self-sabotage, like distracting ourselves. Like, I can't start yelling about people that are just, leaned into their phones and living through that vicariously, clip by clip by clip, and that's how they obtain some sort of a conclusion of news or form an opinion. When I'm almost doing the same, I have tons of useless information right now that I feel like a useless human being. Is that also by design? I don't know. My head is full with nonsense. Let me give the video a chance for more than 30 seconds, though. This is the Pentagon guy. I'm just going to call him Mr. Pentagon.
Why is everyone spiraling over YouTube banning ad block?
Let them get their ad money. They're a huge news affiliate. They need their ad money. Yeah, especially on YouTube.
Subsequently been targeted by this cabal with threats to our careers, our security clearances, and
I ain't going to deny that either. I am excited of what Trump is going to do. I see that the media is trying to stoke fear, and that's all they're doing. I don't hear any optimism. I just hear, oh, Kamala Harris was so graceful with her transitioning of power. She's not even the president, or Biden was. Like, they shook hands or something. I don't know, whatever. That's all I've really heard. And then everything else is Trump still scary, bad, and the country mad.
even our lives.
I'm not sure how I feel about him picking Dr. Oz overseeing Medicaid, because I've never really been a huge Dr. Oz fan. I thought he was just a celebrity guy. My mom was a fan of him. Yeah, there's a lot to catch up on, I suppose, but let me let it ride. Shut up, Eli. Shut up for a second.
This is not hyperbole, but a genuine fact, and this is wrong. To fix these problems, I propose three principal actions. First, Congress and the President should create a single point of contact responsible for a whole-of-government approach to the UAP issue. Currently, the White House, CIA, NASA, the Pentagon, Department of Energy, and others play a role, but no one seems to be in charge, leading to unchecked power and corruption. Second, we need a national UAP strategy that will promote transparency and help restore the American public's trust at a time when the public's trust is at an all-time low. This strategy should include a whole-of-government approach, including the academic and scientific communities, the private sector, and our international partners and allies. Third, Congress should create a protected environment so whistleblowers desperate to do the right thing can come forward without fear. As it currently stands, these whistleblowers suffer because of stigma, a code of silence, and concerns about retaliation.
Yeah, you can't be seriously talking about how whistleblowers have any fear in general, as if that's a shocking revelation. I'm glad he's trying to appear like he's encouraging it, but on the backside, he's like, don't you do it, don't you do it. When we have the Clintons list of, 70 people that they've been affiliated with that are no longer with us, I think the government has effectively kind of dissuaded whistleblowers as a culture, which is why they all seem to get extradited, the ones that have an impact. Look at your Snowden and, oh my God, Julian Assange.
Testimony. One of Congress's most important responsibilities is oversight of the executive branch in general and the military and intelligence community in particular. Unfortunately, there is a growing body of evidence that the U.S. government is not being transparent about what it knows about unidentified anomalous phenomena, and that elements within the military and the IC are in violation of their constitutional duty to notify Congress of their operations. President-elect Donald Trump and former President Barack Obama have both said that the government has information about UAPs that it has not released.
Per chance, out of the blue, semi-unrelated, but under the same branch of secrecy, did you guys see? And look, I love that Trump did the podcasting runs and that Kamala is a coward, period. Either she wasn't liked enough or she thought she was holier than thou. But did you see how cleverly and effectively he danced around just giving us, the American people, a straightforward answer regarding the JFK files? Like, he got to see everything. I think he said as such on the Joe Rogan show. Like, what's in there? He just, he was very forward about just about everything. And I love it. That was another thing before the election that helped, I guess, in a way. Like, Rogan finally endorsed a guy. He wanted to remain neutral. I keep going on these tangents, but again, I'm excited about what Trump's going to do. I want to see the people on the left stop holding their venom and actually try to do what it's always supposed to have been about, working together. It's supposed to be that this whole two-party system nonsense has not been working in our favor. Can we start seeing anybody on the left just embrace what is, accept reality for what it is? There was a hard fight, okay, well done, pat each other on the back. Now let's get to work and start doing what we need to do to make America what it should be. It should be a great place to live. It should be the number one country in the world, but that just ain't the case. Can we put our differences aside and try something as crazy as focusing on our own backyard? And then, throwing out UAPs and aliens, and don't get me started on the when I said earlier the left's radical ideology, man. It's just yes, it's the pronoun police stuff and how it got so indentured into our schooling. I know some of the people from the gaming community is gonna be like, bro, what's this kind of talk? You're gonna learn some things.
Altitudes and maritime environments.
Everybody, that right there is Joe Pon. I shared his video. We had a great time. He came over last night. We had a drink. We played some video games. It was old school. I'm going to make you a mod, Joe Pon. Well, I can't make you a mod right now, but please check out his channel. He's the one that edited that video about Studio Ghibli. I don't know. Sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't. Check him out. He's just starting to get his bearings, but he's already far more talented with editing, and he'll present to you an entertaining video. Please find the channel, like, subscribe. Appreciate it.
Report to Congress details in detail various UAPs, including spheres, orbs, discs, saucers, ovals, triangles, boomerang, arrowhead, and irregular organic. The report describes various incidents found in the human intelligence databases. One involved orbs surrounding and forcing an F-22 out of its patrol area. In another incident, the crew of a Navy aircraft carrier watched a small
Shamrock, I don't deserve you. You've always been on your A game. Oh, and a happy belated birthday to Christy. I don't want to dox her, but our girl Kay Shafransky. That's always her name anyway when she comes in here. Haven't seen her in a while, but I know her birthday just passed.
Orange-red sphere rapidly descend from a high altitude of 100 to 200 yards directly above the flight deck of the CVN or aircraft carrier. And since my reporting on this immaculate constellation last month, another source came forward who told me that they saw a roughly 13-minute long, high-definition, full-color video of a white orb UAP coming out of the ocean approximately 20 miles off the coast of Kuwait. It was filmed from a helicopter. Then halfway through the video, the person said the orb is joined by another orb that briefly comes into the frame from the left before rapidly moving again out of the frame. The person discovered the video on SIPR, the Secure Internet Protocol Router Network, which the DoD uses to transmit classified information.
You know what? I've just come to a conclusion. None of this is stuff that is shocking to us. I know the contents of the character of my OG people. Like right now, those of you that are here right now, we're all we're caught up. We're caught up. Let me show you something. Let me show you guys some of the areas that I've gone down the rabbit hole. That is maybe, let me say, a little creepy. If you have kids in the room with you, we're going to step in some strange kind of territory on YouTube, okay? And I'm going to put just one name out there that's going to either ring a bell or it's going to go way over your head. And this is a rapid change in conversation. But I made it clear in the title, randomness, and I was going to talk about UFOs. Schoolboy9. And if you have heard that name or moniker before, please feel free to hit 1. If you've never heard it, don't say a word or hit 2. Either one. So I'm going to type this in right quick, so bear with me. Oh, what's up? And there's the 90s router. That's another, that right there. That's my homie right there. Joe Pon, meet 90s router. 90s router. Joe Pon is a friend of mine, a real life friend of mine, and he's up and coming using Adobe to edit his videos. And I'd love for you to just congregate, collab. I don't know, meet, talk some shit, whatever. But I'm going to go to a very strange place, guys. Hold on. So bear with me. I'll try to speak as audibly as I go to this area, because I don't think this little neck of YouTube school knows too much yet. Okay, here we go. This is a whole other area. Have anybody heard the Schoolboy9 stuff yet? Oh, okay. Oh boy. Here we go. All right, I'm just gonna share the screen. I don't know if no monetizing. Just look at the. like look at these images. Okay, tell me that that's not. Let me see. The story is that he's getting Discord messages. This is a real person. Okay, that it looks like put. Oh, this is so much to unpack. A mentally ill person. I don't know that that's an actual picture. Let me see what this one is right here, real quick. Let's learn together. All right. What I can verify is this. Please don't go to unless your children are not around. Don't go to his Twitter page. It is clear that this man, at least all the information that has been amassed by internet sleuths and real detectives and investigators, have discovered the identity behind these fake accounts of kids, and he's dressing up like school children, and even going as far as like filming local kids, and just the content is really, really super, super disturbing, man. And the fact that he's not locked up, if that's the case, I hope we learn just like right now that he did get locked up. And yeah, I know this is a drastic change in topic, but with the UFOs thing, it's either a distraction, but we already know the government's hiding everything. We're not going to get anything substantial. And yes, I know they found Schoolboy9. Let me give you somewhat of an introduction. I mean, the documentary is what started this. Okay, 2 months ago. Little intro. Thank you, Nick Crowley. I'm not going to monetize. This is all credit for Nick Crowley. There's going to be an ad. So this stuff only really blew up, and then people started to really investigate after he did this documentary, because it scared the crap out of people.
Casual isn't allowed, and it's quite hot here in the UK, as the month of June suddenly got warmer. These are two examples out of many that show smart Schoolboy9 reaching out and attempting to befriend young children online. In one comment, he even warns a child about other comments from bad people.
The whole vibe in this room, quote unquote, is going to change. Why is his face painted white? I don't know. I've seen like alleged pictures that this guy took that he's trying to sell to the highest bidder, or I don't even know if he's mostly like black, and he seems to just have like some sort of like, I don't know if it's paint or sunscreen, but he's clearly not well, and something in 1972 happened to set him off. But let's relax, kick your feet back. You're gonna go down a rabbit hole, and it might be disturbing. There's no might.
Stating that it happens to most boys in our age group, but stay safe, stay cool, don't be dismayed by creeps. This is our best evidence that these accounts weren't just made for age play. No, he's actually posing as a child in order to make friends with other children. And given his overtly sexual interests and aversion to CP, it's not hard to gather why he was doing this. And these examples are only what we found so far. It's possible that there are dozens, or who knows, maybe even hundreds of other comments out there, hidden on unknown children's accounts. This is predatory behavior. The man behind Schoolboy9 is a predator. And in case there was still any doubt of whether
I get the creeps, dude, like, I really hope that I learned something positive in this investigation. Did this even start from the actual beginning? No, it didn't. It jumped to where I turned it off. Oh man, okay, we gotta swing it back
Hey, it's
real
Kevin,
quick.
one of the co-founders of
Sorry for
Amy.
this
It's now our
ad.
Black.
Give it a moment. Remember, this is not my typical stream, because I'm not focused on one topic. Usually, like, I'm on a warpath about something, crusade or something or another, or ranting about the government. But
creepy
okay,
accounts
here
pretending
we
to be
go.
kids. I came across a reel randomly, and it's led me down this weird rabbit hole of people using AI or dressing up pretending to go to school. They all seem to have high heels, check images in them. Is this an age play thing or something more sinister? Literally anything helps as I keep trying to look for answers. This post was made to the subreddit r/Instagram by the user numerouscut792 on April 15th, 2024. It featured screenshots of 3 bizarre-looking Instagram pages they had encountered earlier that day, with OP expressing
Be grateful that certain images here are pixelated out. Some of them are done for dramatic effect, but there are some that are just not YouTube friendly, to put it lightly.
and concern that something truly disturbing was happening with these users, and those in the thread agreed. What the actual fuck? Found all of them and blocked them all. Truthsticks11 is seriously creepy to me. I've been trying to find more about them, but can hardly find anything. Very weird account to say the least. The 3 accounts apparently belong to 3 different children. However, when combing through their posts, the content seems to imply something much more bizarre was afoot, something truly disturbing. This post would be the start of a story that would eventually be picked up and shared all across the online world, becoming one of the more notorious internet mysteries in recent memory, as these accounts revealed an unending rabbit hole that is still being traversed to this very day, in an ongoing investigation into one of the most depraved oddities ever found on Instagram. This is the emerging story.
Instagram. So correction. I think it was Twitter. I said earlier. This whole debacle that became like really a focal point for almost the entirety of internet sleuths on YouTube and Reddit to actually find where this man is, and they uncovered a whole bunch of information, almost explaining why he's so just screwed up in the head. But there's no excuse. There's no sympathy. I mean, it appears that there was definitely some trauma by a coach when he was like 13 or 14. But what he's doing, you be the judge.
Of Smart Schoolboy9.
1, 2, 3, 4. I hope you like these photos. School is
Big
fun.
rally shout out.
Really fun.
I just hacked him out of the sky. Oh my God, Tyler!
We'll return. And overall, it's been great for my production, as it's looked after by me, a degree-educated mother choosing to stay anonymous. This was the bio of the first account pictured in the Reddit post, an account named TruthSticks11, which was said to be operated by a 12-year-old boy and his mother. Back in October of 2021, the duo would make their very first post, kicking things off on a somewhat concerning note, though not for their own page, but instead another account on the platform.
So, that's the account run by a man pretending to be a boy.
The video was created and posted by the mother for the sole purpose of warning others of a specific user who had been posing as a child online when in actuality he was a grown man who did this in—
The mother is also the same guy using a modulated voice. Like he just made, I think 8 different accounts pretending to be 8 different kids for whatever reason, and interacting with other kids, which is what makes this really frightening, which is another reinforcement as to why you need to watch what your kids are doing at all times. Do not just blindly trust them with any platforms. None of them, I'm afraid to say.
In order to get close to and exploit other children across the platform. It's the grim reality of this online world, as predators will do just about anything to get closer to children, and it's a reality often unrealized or even ignored by parents, which makes it almost refreshing that this mother was out here trying to raise awareness. These posts would become the crux of the account early on. They would call out this user and their many accounts again and again, eventually going more in depth about what this person would actually do, claiming that they had a strange perversion to dressing up as a young schoolboy. Does he wish he were a young boy in a school classroom, looking nice and being successful at school? Yes. This theme of calling out online predators would remain consistent throughout the years on TruthSticks11. However, after some time, the mother behind the account began to use the page for its initially intended purpose, to share photos of her son. The photos began reasonably normal, and would show this young boy.
Something like should set off your radar immediately. Like this picture, just something looks, I don't know, just, I'm sure if taken by the real person, I think this is shared by a third party, and that's the Schoolboy9 person. They're just getting these photographs, and I don't know how, which is a part of the mystery that makes it even scarier, but it just looks unnatural. What is this, a landline? How old is this picture?
Boys studying at school, accepting awards from their principal, and even school presentations in which their son had attended, with the captions often boasting about how intelligent the young boy was. Though over time, the photos began to grow stranger. They looked off, almost as if they were AI generated, and on top of this, they began to appear heavily edited in an almost inexplicable manner, with deep red lipstick often being added, which was enunciated by his face being turned pure white. This unsettling trend would continue from here, as with each passing post, the photos grew less authentic and more surreal.
I think that photo is not doctored. It was just an older photograph, possibly in the early 2000s, personally. But that's only a personal theory of mine. I'm sure there's much more speculation, as there are whole teams dedicated to, I guess, essentially getting this man either help or put him behind bars. I don't know how deep the investigation has got, but they were able to locate where he lives.
Until they became straight up disturbed, even sickening. These bizarre edits spilled over past just the images too, as the posts began to appear as disjointed collages, often showcasing multiple grotesque images and paragraphs about how much this user loved school. And this wasn't the only shift either. At some point, the son behind the account began
all right, I hate to pause it on that image, but this is where I just want to ask, like, where do we ever get to ask accountability regarding these platforms? Or is it just one or the other? We advocate for free speech and the freedom to execute it in the way that we wish to, right? But then you have things like that. Like, what baffles me is what is able to be gotten away with on these platforms. Like, you can literally find videos on TikTok or YouTube. You still can. Twitter and scoops of people literally losing their life. I don't know how else to put that. I don't want to use the jargon necessary to make it family friendly, but if I say shit too many times, the algorithm is no longer in my favor. Curse words, you see how that almost startled me? Ooh, the vibe. I just don't understand the free speech platform approach and trying to reach family friendly status while finding weirdos like that and maintaining a very active social life on them, where they're targeting other, innocent kids. I get nervous to say kids because that usually, I assume, gets YouTube's little algorithm to be like, oh, what are they talking about in there? They might be shining a light on something that we don't feel comfortable with. It's not family friendly. So I don't know what hill to, unalive on here. What sword to fall on. Rumble, I applaud, but even they have their issues. All right. Like this man and his behavior, and when he was posting footage of him recording other kids in like his neighborhood or at the park, that should have been it. Deplatformed. It was reported. So like I don't know. I guess it's just we're never ever going to be satisfied, and nothing is ever going to be made right in the way that we want it to be. I just don't understand.
posting content that allegedly came directly from him, saying things like, "My really cool mom asked me if I'd like to post, and I said, yes, please." He even shared supposed videos that he had filmed of himself, which were equally as unconvincing as his photos, and somehow even more chilling.
Yeah, Joe Pun, I wish this was like a creepypasta thing, but it's like it's totally real, and the account, to my knowledge, is still active, not shut down. All of his accounts are still active.
The boy even shows off his singing in one of the clips. Though their voice sounds off.
Please let me join your guild.
Okay, a moment of silence to just take it in.
The account was overall anomalous and extremely off-putting. And though this content was visually alarming, another aspect made it even more so concerning, as over time, many of the images began to resemble CP, showcasing these fake AI children in explicit positions, with their faces sometimes even being photoshopped onto scantily dressed adult bodies. One thing is blatantly obvious about the Truth Sticks account: the supposed child behind it is not real. Even in the more passable photos at the very beginning, there's evidence to suggest that these were likely AI as well. And based on the disturbed, borderline illegal content that this page
90s Router, if you take the time to, just check out any of the many channels that have covered this ad nauseum. Like, I'm showing the literal first narrative video that brought the mass attention to it. There's so much you're going to learn, and it's a mix of both things, to be honest. It's a mix of somebody who is trying to actively engage in friendships online with children, and when it comes to outside activity, that much I can't comment on. I don't know, but he has shared footage of him filming kids while they're playing in the park, so I guess corrupting to lure and corrupt, and I don't even want to know what else.
Featured, it seemed more than likely that whoever was behind this page was not an innocent mother concerned for the welfare of other children, but instead a predatory individual themselves. And this wasn't their only account. The second page featured on the Reddit post belonged to a user named GirlChloe12 and bore striking similarities to Truth Sticks. The page was also supposedly run by a child and monitored by their parent. Bizarrely, they also posted frequently about the dangers of online predators, with the wording of these posts and the editing being essentially the exact same as Truth Sticks, just not as over the top. These two accounts even frequently interacted with each other, thus providing a substantial link on its own. But by far the most compelling link between these pages is one that is easy to miss at a glance, with that being a blatant obsession with high-heeled mini boots. These shoes were mentioned or shown in virtually every single post made by these two users. At playtime, I'm sometimes running around with my really cool heeled footwear I wear with my uniform. After coming home from school, education isn't over for the day once the blue blazer, gray jersey, neat tie, white shirt, tailored close-fit gray trousers, and black heeled mini boots are in the wardrobe. No matter what they discussed, school uniforms and mini boots were always a talking point, which adds confirmation to something that is already becoming apparent. This is fetish content, not too unlike the bizarre accounts in the Pipergate rabbit hole. Fetish content centered around children. And what makes the Chloe account so disturbing is that AI was seemingly not used, and rather the images seem to be of actual children. Despite this disturbing distinction, these two accounts are cut from the same cloth, and all signs point to them being created by the same person. A person who, despite their constant warnings of the dangers of adults pretending to be children online, seems to be doing the exact same thing, as part of some sort of fetish, the extent of which we'll discuss later. But for now, one thing was for certain. These pages were not run by children or their parents. So who created them? Well, that brings us to our third and final account shown in that initial post.
Joe Pond, they caught the guy. I just don't know how involved in the authorities are, which is probably exactly where I need to go next. There was somebody local, because they recognized this guy. He was not in full regalia, so to speak, but he had he looked strange with or without whatever the pigmentation thing going on is, or lack thereof, or the cream on his face, or whatever's going on there. He has a weird walk about him, and his lips are a little strange, and he's a recluse, and he's just a weirdo. So this guy that rides around, he saw the documentary and all the widespread, this set YouTube on fire for a good while. It's starting to die down because they found him. What are they doing? That's the next real question. But what kind of, I don't know, I can't criticize this, but the guy that has all the information and has the video of him in just regular, normal, there's nothing normal about this guy, in his regular attire, is selling it to the highest bidder, like YouTube or news outlets or something.
Smart Schoolboy9 was much the same as the other two accounts. They warned of online predators, obsessed over high-heeled mini boots and school uniforms, and posed as a child despite clearly not being one. But Smart Schoolboy was different in one key aspect. The person behind the account was pretending to be a child, but they were doing so in a much more apparent manner, as they didn't use AI.
I want to give just a firm, especially if Shamrock's still here, we're going to see some real-life footage of the Schoolboy9 character, and it's, man, when it comes to creepy, this is the peak of creepiness. So if this already has hit you in the wrong way, and you don't want this to be the last thing you see before you go to bed tonight, feel free to just escape now, okay? And I'm not going to apologize. I made it clear I was just itching to go live with no real goal today. But yeah, I just want to give fair warning.
AI or stolen images of other kids to form their identity. And instead, they used photos of themselves. In the images posted on the account, we see what appears to be a fully grown man dressed in a schoolboy's uniform. His face is painted pure white and has bright red lipstick, and he's, of course, wearing high-heeled mini boots. Characteristics that were all utilized across the other accounts, only this time it was done on himself, as he poses as a child pretending to go to school, as well as pretending to go through other life events common for preteens. And the photos aren't even the most disturbing part, as the account consists primarily of videos.
See, 90s Rider, I knew you and I just connected on that level, man. I'd be right there. We'd make a sandwich. Oh, no, I can't. I'm breaking character here. I can't, man. This is the only existence on the internet that actually creeps me out, which is crazy because of the things I have seen.
Oh. School. Hey, let me know if you like school as well.
The videos are all incredibly off-putting. Some show him arriving home from school.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. School.
Others show him claiming to be on the bus heading towards school.
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
I don't know why I feel the need to throw in this fact, because I don't know if it's covered in this video, but yes, on his Instagram account, even though I guess you have to, it's obvious, but you also kind of have to be paying attention. Like, you may not notice it in passing, but this twisted fuck posted a video of him pleasing himself under a table, and it posted. Didn't go against any regulations. None of the reports did anything. It wasn't taken down. You just hear this creep, and you hear the act. Sorry for sharing that one. TMI, I guess. I'm trying to make a point of my complete bafflement when it comes to these platforms and claiming to be family friendly and us having to be nervous talking about serious issues. But that stays. That stays.
I'm on the school bus.
And other videos showing him doing whatever this is. With these strange sounds and the process of sticking his tongue out appearing to be part of his fetish. As much like the other accounts, his content is overtly sexual, in its own bizarre way.
This is the first time I've ever been thankful for an ad on YouTube. First time I've ever been. Okay, all right. This is a nonstop flurry during this documentary. There's so much more content. I am going to check one video after this, which is a brief clip, which is an update after they found out where he lived. I just want to know that this guy is like just nowhere near children. That's all I want to know.
In fact, there's a video of him with his full outfit on, where he shows himself staring into a mirror as he appears to pleasure himself, right out of view of the camera, as he stares into his own eyes. This account is by far the most sickening part of this whole rabbit hole.
And still there, family-friendly platforms of the world, still there. But we have to worry about we have to say unalive, we have to say seedless grapes. It's ridiculous. Like, pick a fucking side. Oh, I said the F word. That's even worse than apparently all of this.
Also the most important. Interspersed throughout his page are a few examples of what this individual's voice sounds like.
This is quite good.
Which just so happens to be the same voice heard in the very first clip shown on the Truth Sticks account.
A man pretending to be a boy.
Meaning that this full-grown adult man is the one behind this entire rabbit hole. He's the one on these accounts pretending to be a child and their mother, getting some sort of sick satisfaction from whatever this is. And the worst part is, these activities aren't just kept behind closed doors. As we can see on numerous occasions, videos of him walking around outside in a public space with his full outfit and face paint on.
How long do you think he's able to walk around in that attire, regalia, whatever you want to call it, costume, character? How long before somebody, I don't know, man, just goes and throws him into a white van and puts some concrete shoes on him, calls 911 or 411 over there, whatever the hell, man. Just how can that exist? And let me know if there's any audio issues, because I just turned this thing and I have no idea. I am that rusty, guys. So I do apologize for that.
Look at me.
It's truly one of the strangest things that I've ever seen, and making sense of what this all is,
Hold on.
like space.
Somebody shouted "Schoolboy" in the background, and there was some sort of text. Let me see. I want a second glance, even though it's a 2-month-old video.
With his full outfit and face paint on.
As I'm walking home from school, you can hear a guy say to me, "You've been a good boy." Cool. No. Like, is this neighborhood enabling it? I know too little. Is that another person behind him, or? All right.
Look at me.
I just hear.
It's truly one of the strangest things
Schoolboy,
that I've
good
ever
boy.
seen, and making sense of what this all is extremely difficult. But based on the information found from this first Reddit post, a few likely conclusions can be put forward. This man is clearly attracted to the idea of being a kid, and I think OP was correct when they speculated that this was some sort of age play thing. But it's also clearly much more than that too, as based on the images that he's created himself, he clearly has some sort of attraction to other children as well, as he's quite literally created faux CP, the likes of which is so disturbing that I can't even really describe it here either. He's creating fetish content, and he's using the likeness of children, and also some children that are clearly very real people, to do so. That much is obvious. But there was also the possibility that he was pretending to be a kid in order to exploit other children across the internet. At this point, though, this was merely speculation, with much of the smart school.
Look at that face, man. That looks like a mask. Is that the goal, for it to look like a mask? It's bizarre. Is whiteface a crime, Joe Pound? That's a good question. Let's circulate that, man. Hashtag it. Let's put that out there in the grand scheme here.
Schoolboy9 case remaining a mystery, and the rabbit hole was only getting deeper from here. Months after this rabbit hole was introduced to the online world, the story began to be shared all across the internet, most notably on the r/internet mysteries subreddit, where the case really took off. There, internet sleuths began uncovering just how vast this web of accounts actually was, as it wasn't just these 3 pages. No, there seemed to be over a dozen, and likely even more.
He clearly filters his own videos to look a certain way, vintage, if you will. I don't know. I think, I mean, aside from many things being wrong inside of that brain that's in that skull, he knows what he's doing. And once you go deeper into this rabbit hole, and feel free to do so, but you can also avoid being disturbed and getting a headache and just feeling sick about society in general if you don't. But it's a puzzle. It's a mosaic of him telling his own story and projecting it as a fantasy and defending the person that essayed him when he was a real schoolboy in 1972. And that you'll know why that year is relevant if you ever bother, but just don't.
Or that we still haven't found, as he's created his own sort of community, his own little world, where across each page he pretends to be a child, with these accounts typically following each other and frequently interacting, seemingly to make these characters appear as though they have real friends. On one of these pages, 12 Stockwell Joanne, he poses as a 14-year-old girl, using more AI images to depict explicit positions of this manufactured child, which I obviously am not going to show here. Though much like his Chloe account, he also shows images of very real young girls. But this isn't the most concerning part of this account, as on numerous occasions he's shown images of children at a playground, which he may have taken himself. This fantasy of
Hey, I bet you this is Six Erican's buds that he was talking about, 90s router. Remember when Six Erican was like, I have friends that are PDFs, and I think it's time to roll them out, but you shouldn't rat out your friends. I bet you Six Erican is best buds with Schoolboy9 here. Wait, 6 upside down is 9 equals 6 Erican is Schoolboy9.
being a schoolgirl and taking part in these school-centric activities is something carried over throughout multiple of his accounts, with his most common alias being Stephanie, of which he has numerous different accounts featuring that same name.
Yeah, I'm Stephanie.
This Stephanie character claims to be a 12-year-old aspiring poet, with accounts all across the internet, many of which showcasing examples of her poetry, which carries on those same distinct sexual undertones. I race to complete my poems when I've got an early start. Heart racing, mixed rhythms, maximizing miracles, rice with rap, and on the map. My Kennington, London syllables. Dancing though I know my underwear might show if I lean forward. Good. Stephanie Stansfield, 12. But digging even deeper, her poetry has even seemingly been featured in various...
I'm going to clip that one and circulate it as a short. And I'm going to make it big, bold letters, 6 Erican Schoolboy9 confirmed.
Various articles and even newspapers, showcasing that this rabbit hole extends far past just the online world. This act is clearly their obsession, and he's been doing this for years, with the earliest examples that I could find coming from all the way back in 2018. And this Stephanie character seems to be his go-to alias, embodying it in even the literal sense.
Oh god, here it goes. Get ready.
As in one of his many pages dedicated to this Stephanie character, he dresses as her, wearing a wig and a dress, as he pretends to be a 12-year-old girl. Almost immediately after this case began gaining traction, the true magnitude of this rabbit hole was revealed. Across every single account are countless depraved posts and oddities that all could warrant discussion. But by far the most important discoveries were those that didn't actually occur on his own page, and rather the pages of other actual children. Do you like school? I do. It is good. You have some cool shirts, but I have to...
Alright, so this is just the evidence that he's using this account to literally get involved with other children. And somehow, with near impunity, the dude still exists. I'm sorry that I'm skipping ahead. I'm actually getting disturbed.
Children have
I want to see the clip, the most recent clip, now that I know that they have had his information, his details, for at least well over a month now. He's got to be behind bars by now. So I'm going to skip a little bit through. I mean, you get the sense here. We got a psychopath, and he's been on the loose for a very long time.
Not been traced back to
the end here.
Their original creator, and some seem...
A boy.
Do you like having a P.O. box but are tired?
I'm not getting YouTube Premium no matter how many times you offer it for free.
And I post a...
And he continued posting these predator exposés, along with other warnings.
Yeah, dim legs, bro. No. Nope. I got PTSD now. Again. That's the first time I saw him, and now here I am again, full circle. I'm a masochist at this point.
About predators on the internet across every page he made, each of which being hyper-specific to...
He just projects and projects to be cautious. See, what the hell is that even? Another AI-generated image?
Including some where he's added what appears to be rope to give the illusion that they're tied up. This was the text shown on screen during a short video posted onto one of David's many accounts. And in the video, we see the man pointing the camera at himself, showing his full face of white makeup and red lipstick. This video is edited more egregiously than any others I've seen across his page, with multiple explicit images and huge emojis covering the majority of the screen. Though just barely enough of the footage can be seen that shows David as he turns the camera around, revealing a young boy.
He's chasing a
who
kid.
He then proceeds to chase after, giggling all the while.
So, okay. What's the closing statement of this documentary?
One thing is for sure. The story of Smart Schoolboy9
What's up, Pitbulls? Great to see you. This is a much more restraint. Well, the content is atrocious. I guess you could say this is not a cautionary tale, Pitbulls. I think I would hope if you don't know, just now you're in the know because I know you're a parent. You're very cautious of what's out there. Just stay away from anything Schoolboy9 related. That's what I've covered in the minutia of topics that I have kind of discussed here today. I don't know why I felt like I got bored with UFOs, so I figured why not just go to a real life human alien predator thing, and that's what I just showcased. So here's the closing statement, and then I'm going to check out the updated clip about what the authorities have done since we've gotten the information.
Is far from over.
Okay, and sent. Okay. So if I hit the back button here, and here's some of the shorts. Yes, they found, has been found. Let's hit this one for now. This was a fake right here. This YouTuber took advantage of everybody's concern and orchestrated a fake meetup of somebody with a similar build. People are just, they'll do anything, and it makes me sad. I got no fancy words. It just makes me sad. All right.
We finally have a video of what the inside of Smart Schoolboy9's house looks like, and it is more crazy.
Clickbait. I want something with, so much investigation has been done. Okay, look, 2 weeks ago. What is this? Oh, God, did they make a video? Okay. Well, guys, we're going to be in for a ride. I don't know what this is. Do you know there's strange animation channels out there? I hope this is not making light of it. Oh, goodness. All right. Be prepared. Look, I like Meat Canyon. He's a great creator and artist of all things despicable. My morbid curiosity is making me check this out, and hopefully it has a satisfying end, like seeing the creature we've been watching getting destroyed. I hope. All right. I've never seen this, but I'm intrigued. Morbidly. Full shout out to Chamamali, who I'll subscribe to right now just to show the support. What is this? It's short. Somebody's going to buy the IP of the Schoolboy story and make their own variant movie without actually infringing on any copyright. What a horrifying character. The noises, the look, everything. Yeah, Meat Canyon, like his social commentary is I love his work. Brilliant. I think people, though, have made the mistake of over glorifying the creator a bit, but he's just super talented. That's clear.
Go.
Oh my God, the artist actually, that's audio I recognize from one of Schoolboy9's prior clips. That's what his nails actually look like. This artist knows, I'm assuming, the lore and everything, because everything's on point. And what are we watching, Steven? I wish I could tell you. This is when real life just breaks the mold of truth being stranger than fiction, and people just, here we go. There's already the first piece of entertainment derived from the story itself. Wait until Hollywood gets its paws on it. As if they weren't weird enough. They probably have them at a Diddy party. Oh no. Oh no. Alright. Feeding into the lore.
Hey, you! Did you know that by pressing this little button,
Yes.
you are helping this
I
video
did.
to
You're
get more
welcome,
views
and thank you for the nightmares. Oh my dear. Okay. I would still, despite that entertaining little anecdote, what is the most recent? All right, Instagram. People are still. Wait, Instagram's darkest community is growing. Okay, I hope that means the investigators. Come on, give me something like. Let me. I gotta type something in, guys. Bear with me. Let me switch. I know. Perhaps my split screen is more entertaining, but bear with me here while I type something specific. Schoolboy9 caught. Let's do that, because I saw his full name. They found his Facebook. All confirmed. All right, let's get some results here. Investigating the. Okay, I saw Mudahar's coverage of this already. Some ordinary gamer. Schoolboy9 has been found. That's not an actual picture. All right, here, I'll do the share screen again here. I don't see anything with any. I'm gonna have to go to the recesses of Reddit or something, because there's massive subreddits about this. I just want vindication or confirmation that he's put away. Like, he can't still be operational, right? Everything is 2 months ago. 2 months ago. 2 months ago. That's the fake interview, that little punk. Okay, so I don't see anything. Schoolboy9 caught, even though I saw a video that confirms he was in fact caught, or found. They know where he lives. They know his full name. They found his Facebook. 2 separate lives, but also very strange. Why can't I? All right, I guess this is something I may do on my own time, I suppose, but I just, it's like all right, you know what? I'm gonna DuckDuckGo this little thing right quick. Let me do my thing here. Oh, sorry. Let me not leak Discords. Not that I have anything to hide. All right. Okay, let me do this outside of the realm of YouTube. Let's go DuckDuckGo. Give me a story. Give me a media outlet that covered this to some degree. Okay, now Schoolboy9. I need more than found. I need brought to justice. All right, Reddit. Shall we go literally to the Reddit? All right, know your meme. Know your meme. Here, I don't hide shit, so I'll show you guys my search history. Like, literally nothing to hide. There we go. Share screen. Okay. Who is, no, we already know the who. Literally, we know the who. September 27th, 2020, a single YouTube video investigating the case has some 10 million views. Okay. Give me more than that. Where's the actual Reddit? I don't use Reddit too often. All right, if I actually go there, is this a whole process where I have to like Smart Schoolboy9 is banned? This subreddit was banned due to violation of Reddit's content policy against harassing content. So people were going after the creep. They found his name. They doxed him. So, okay, well, no more Reddit. Just okay. Forget Reddit. Forget Reddit for a second. Caught. Found. Caught. No. No. Just caught. Was he ever arrested? That's a good question. Okay. What was the date here? November 14th. Was Smart Schoolboy9 ever arrested? David London. Blah blah blah. Rumors explained. Has become a 2024 define. Yes. Let's come on, bring it to me. I don't want all the filler. Doncaster rumors claim David Alter, that's the name. I don't mind doxing this piece of crap. That's where they found his YouTube. That's his real name, David Alter. I'm not sure if this is just a local rumor, so take it with a grain of salt. Screenshots show the post from August 13th asking the residents of Doncaster if they remember the man nicknamed by locals as David Walter Alter. It says that he got jailed for stalking a teenage pupil. I hope that's true. Attending the local Hall Cross Academy school. My wife says he went to jail for stalking a girl from... I think this is sounding familiar to the last video I saw, to where I know that they found him and that somebody had footage that they wanted to sell for a very high amount. According to their account, when the cashier... Okay, now let's go up further. Over the past day, U-Hot Summer Market has shared what they claim to be proof that Smart Schoolboy9 has been dressing as a schoolboy since the 90s. How does this happen for that long? That he's had cops called on him, be warned that the screenshot of the post contains racial slurs. Oh boy. Redditors warn of an active investigation. Okay. Give me something. So we just have a rumor. Residents recall encounters with Schoolboy9. We just have a rumor. Fake interviews. Yep, I know that one already. So what's the final? But one key takeaway worth noting is one mentioned in Crowley's YouTube documentary, and avoid making contact with the man discussed. I don't think we're going to get an actual answer, unfortunately. Damn it. Okay. So, and a shout out to Maxwell. You asked for my Discord ages ago. Let me get this screen just on me, and I'll just say my Discord, because I'm honestly uncertain if it's I'm good, thanks, because I changed it after I stopped wanting to be bothered, or if it's still Progressive Patriot. All right. And Pro Pat Squad is my Discord name, I think. I'm not good with this stuff, guys. Bear with me. I am trying to effectively use my Discord channel so we can, when we do congregate as a community, when I do go live with a actual target that has been proven to be a monster, to be a toxic individual that has done heinous acts and crimes such as Sixerican, or someone like a low tier god, or I'm very, very invested in having a discussion about Wings of Redemption, because that's just a case that is a little bit, I don't know, complex. I don't know. He's definitely a lol cow. But aside from that, thanks for being here for a brief little journey. I honestly missed my OGs, and I'm glad that I see some of you here. Pitbull, Stephen A, White Dragon, Shamrock, and thank you, just any of the I used to call them bushwhackers. That's maybe not the nicest term for people that watch in silence, but just thanks for giving the time. If you have been able to waste some time and kill some time, just go ahead and smash the thumbs up if you don't mind. Subscribe if you haven't. I've noticed when I go on those rants and when I'm yelling, it's when I get the most views. It's when I was yelling about Six Eric in my car while driving. I had about 50 people in there, one of which was rooting for me to have a mishap so they could send me a donation. Yeah, interesting landscape the internet is. But I want to focus more on community, and I really just need this escape. You guys have been there for this catharsis for me, and I am always forever indebted to those of you that have been through in this journey with me, from wherever the very strange start was to wherever this ends up. Expect a lot of collaborations. I'm talking to about all right, 5 separate channels, but there's specifically 3 that I want to strike while the iron is hot. So with that being said, guys, just be wary, be protective. Trump took the W, man, so be optimistic regarding that. Let's hope we see some actual change, and be careful. It's a strange and dangerous little world out there. Something far more sadistic than fiction could ever paint in your mind. So be out there and just be careful and take care of one another. Good night for now, and thank you again. And now here's the awkward spell while I move the phone and you all start exiting as I try to remember how to do things on a computer. Good night.